Good morning. Hinchcliffe Stadium was a legacy project for our city. It's 26 years in the making, and we brought it back to life. But on that day, May 19th, 2023, when we cut the ribbon on the rebirth of our real field of dreams, the question that was posed by a regular resident of the city of Paterson: when are you going to fix River Street? A month later, at a graduation ceremony for the first time in 26 years, and there was a chant in the audience during the high school graduation: fix River Street. This has been the talk of the town. This has been a topic of discussion for decades. You want to talk about Hinchcliffe Stadium being fallow for 26 years, this street hasn't been paved in over 30 years. So once again, a legacy project. In fact, probably more important than Hinchcliffe Stadium for many people that have driven on River Street, who've lost a hubcap on River Street, who got a flat tire on River Street, who couldn't pass on River Street and had to find an alternative route. Well, the debate, the discussion is over. We are going to fix River Street once and for all. And it's not just a matter of people passing by in their vehicles. It's also about what happens when there's a storm. Because what I've often said, when it rains, River Street is more river than street. Well, the remedial action that we're going to take will mitigate that. As a matter of fact, the reason why there's such a hefty price tag attached to this massive project is because we have to reline and repair the sewer. Actually, resurfacing is probably just like the icing on the cake. And so we are going to proceed with this New Deal era project. Just like Hinchcliffe Stadium was opened up during the Great Depression, and that was a part of getting work going again. This is like our New Deal project here in Paterson, with a nod to FDR and the infrastructure improvement that's going to take place. So I commend the City Council for supporting this effort. When other administrations in the past kicked the can down the road, we have said, no, we're going to resurface the road. No more kicking the can. And so to elaborate further as to what people can expect, we've been joined by our engineer. As a matter of fact, encouraging information, the notice to proceed has been issued, and this Monday, people will see activity starting with test kits here on River Street. But to elaborate further and to delve deeper into the details, we have with us our cherished engineer, James B. McGrath III. JBM.
All right, so I don't know where to look. I'm usually behind the desk, but I know this project is the crown jewel. We had the City Council, we had the Mayor, we had the VA, we had Billy Rodriguez from the DPW. We had a lot of hands in getting this project over the finish line into actual construction. So we've got a consulting engineer on the project. We've got a contractor on the project. They're going to start next week digging test pits along River Street, and those are going to determine our utility crossing, depth of utility, and really determine the scope of the work, since, you know, obviously we're above ground here, we can't see underground. And once that's done, we're going to be videoing all of the sewer lines underneath River Street, and that's going to make the determination on whether the sewer lines along the road here need to be relined or repaired. And whether they are relined or repaired, that is all taken into account in the budget that's already been approved for this project. We will have someone here full-time from Neglia inspecting the project to make sure the plans and specs are followed to a T, to make sure there are no overages on our schedule of 10 to 14 months and no overages on our budget. We're going to have police and fire directing traffic, rerouting traffic. I believe shortly, I don't know the exact date, we are going to have some signs along River Street. And then once we have equipment in the roadway, we will have detours, we will have police. We'll make sure safety is the highest priority. We've coordinated with Passaic Valley Water and PSE&G to make sure none of their work will come in and rip up the freshly paved road. So all of their work along this route, and I believe one block in either direction, will be completed before the road is repaved. So you are going to have a fresh coat of asphalt on River Street for however long that lasts. But PSE&G and Passaic Valley will not come and rip it up. It's going to be the contractor paving it, and then once we are done, sometime next year, you should be good as new.
Thank you, Jay. Well said. I couldn't have said it better myself. Thank you. Want to point out, he outlined a schedule potentially of 10 to 14 months. 10 is very ambitious. 14 is conservative. Well, yeah, I guess more realistic. But the reason why we feel like we can accelerate this is because I've approved the extra hours. So an extra 2 hours a day, we're talking starting at 7 a.m. and ending at 4 p.m. as opposed to starting at 9 a.m. So we're hoping that'll have an impact and accelerate the project. So I've approved the extra hours so that we could potentially have a closer finish date to the 10, 11, maybe even 12 months. So I alluded earlier to the city council. This is clearly an opportunity for us to collaborate. And so I'd like to hear from our council president, who's been very passionate about fixing River Street. Councilman of the 3rd Ward, Alex Mendez.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Mayor. Good morning. This is a beautiful morning, and this is definitely a great day for the city of Paterson. I live a few blocks away from here, and for over 30 years, River Street hasn't been fixed. This is the biggest complaint that we're getting in the city of Paterson. Every time we go, everywhere we go, people asking us when we're gonna finish River Street. As council president, I feel pleased and blessed to put so much effort into this project to make sure that we start and that we get the resources. And the city council, along with my council colleague, approved the budget to fix River Street. But not only that, we also approved the budget to make sure that we get a company who's gonna oversee the project to make sure that it's gonna be done the right way. So very soon you're gonna see sign as you heard before, but also we're gonna let the business owner know, we're gonna let everybody know that the process is gonna start. It's gonna be a little difficult, but guess what? We're gonna fix the River Street finally, once and for all. Thank you to the administration. We gotta collaborate, and this is a shared vision between the city council and the administration. This is the way we're gonna get Paterson back on track. Thank you so very much, Mayor. Thank you.
He's absolutely right. This is a shared vision, and once we pave River Street, there'll be a shared victory. Right. And I'm looking forward to that day because we will have a parade on River Street. That is how monumental it is. And maybe we'll be celebrating the New York Mets World Series win on River Street. Who knows? Might not be this year, might be next year. Maybe they go back to back. Anyway, I'm digressing. But our next speaker, she's been also calling my office, texting me about River Street because it does straddle 3 wards, the 3rd, the 4th, and the 1st. Goes down the arch. And she'll be encouraged to know Governor Street is going to be resurfaced in a few weeks. They're going to start on September 30th. Montgomery, she's been talking about Montgomery as well. And then, unbeknownst to me, she'll call the engineer and throw on even more streets and puts me in like an unenviable position. But that's politics for you. It's who gets what, where, when, how, and why. She's Ruby Cotton, right? That was good. That was good. So we're heartened to know that during this city council's leadership, that within the next 2 years, including River Street, 50 streets are going to get resurfaced, which might be a record in the city of Paterson, which includes a lot of the east side section and also north side as well. So ladies and gentlemen, the former mayor, or the first African-American woman to be the mayor of Paterson, our current councilwoman in the 4th Ward, we're in the 3rd now, right. The Honorable Ruby N. Cotton.
Ruby.
Tell them like it is.
All right, I sure will. Thank you, Mayor. I want to say good morning to everyone. You know, this has been a long time coming. As everyone knows, River Street touches the 1st Ward, the 4th Ward, and the 3rd Ward. And it's not a day that do not go past that I don't get a call about River Street. even just patching it. But I'm just excited that we're finally getting it done.
Yes.
And I know that with the sewer line that needs to be fixed, you know, I talk about sometimes the CSOs, you know, to make sure we can separate things. But to me today, Mayor, my council president, my Alex Mendez, my council, 5th Ward, Louis Velez, you know, sometimes we may not agree on things, but you know, my find is that we must still work together to get everything done that we need to get done. And I can say to my director, BPW, Billy Rodriguez, and my engineer that I call all the time, James, because I'll send them somewhere. But to me, today is just absolutely awesome. It's been a long time coming. You know, as me on the 4th Ward, representing the 4th Ward, being on the council the longest, finally getting River Street done. And I appreciate everyone who put their hands in this to make sure that we were able to get this done. Because it's so important. River Street is the main drag through the entire city that comes from one ward to another ward. So finally we're getting it done. I'm happy to be standing here today to see that we're going to get it. And I'm going to come down with you, James, when they come here next week to start doing some work on River Street. Thank you. Thank you everyone who had a hand in this. I appreciate you all. It's been a long... I don't remember. I don't remember. I don't remember. I represent the 4th Ward. I'm in the upper part of it. But I'm happy that we're getting it done. As I said before, we have to collaborate. We got to work together. We disagree, but we've got to get to the bottom line and agree to we know that we got to get done. Thank you, everyone, for coming out, especially to Pike Construction. Thank you for coming out, Pike, to see this getting done. So everyone, I love it too. Everyone, thank you for coming, but this is so exciting for me. It's been a long time coming. We've been waiting for a while, and we finally getting it done. Thank you, everyone. God bless you all.
Thank you, Ruby. Thank you. And I also want to acknowledge that Pike Construction played a pivotal role in the restoration of Hinchcliffe Stadium. Thank you, Pike Construction. Now, our next speaker knows a little something or two about resurfacing roads. In fact, 90% of the streets in the 5th Ward have been resurfaced. That number continues to grow, and it's true. Now the council colleagues are getting a little upset that he got 90%. Don't tell Al Abdulaziz either, so. But I will point out the previous chairman of the DPW committee and council, and he's a champion for infrastructure improvement. And so at this time, I'm going to call forward the 5th Ward Councilman, Louis A. Velez. Tell him what the A stands for.
I believe it's alpha.
Yeah.
An action. So 36 years ago, the first place I used to reside was 14 on Fifth Avenue. This was the most beautiful place to go through 36 years ago. I remember when the industrial company was behind here, Kings and all those places was back. I remember when businesses was a good place to come, because people used to come through here 36 years ago. They find a road that was good, but 30 years without paving is not acceptable. It's not acceptable. Now, last night we was in a gala, mega gala,
Right.
and everybody was partying, but people were talking about River Street. We're gonna do a mega gala when this is
That's right.
when we fix this. Actually.
Good idea.
Yeah, good idea. But in a serious note, this street was an eyesore, not only for Paterson, for those that come to visit Paterson. If you notice, this road or this street goes to one town to the other. And people used to drive here. I say, what are you guys gonna do with River Street? So let me say this. This will never happen. From 20 years from now, moving forward. Never will happen. Thanks God we got blessed with ARP money to make possible this project and to put the sentiment of the residents in place. And the sentiment of the residents is River Street. A lot of people politic on River Street. I don't care who done it, who have done nothing. I care that we are doing it. And this is how we do things. We get the concerns. It goes from 1st, 3rd, and 4th Ward, but it ends in the 5th, the heart of Paterson. and it ends at City Hall. It ends at City Hall. A lot of people think that we're not doing nothing. We are working. We are in working mode. So just have patience. Have patience with us. We get it right and we do it right. A la gente que nos está escuchando, I know that also has it live and recording in Spanish. La gente que están esperando que River Street sea pavimentada y arreglada, sea paciente, ya la próxima semana ya estarán trabajando. Ese proyecto que ustedes querían que arreglara la River Street ya va a comenzar gracias a la colaboración de los concejales, el alcalde y trayendo las preocupaciones de todos ustedes al concilio y a nuestra ciudad. Lo podemos hacer mejor y lo vamos a hacer mejor. Thank you. God bless you all.
Yes. Also would like to acknowledge for his leadership our Director of the Department of Public Works, Billy Rodriguez. Thank you. Thank you, Billy. No, Billy is a man of action. Yes, thank you. And today is all about action. I start off by saying this is a legacy project. This is a priority project for so many reasons. Why is it a priority project? To address the flat tires, to address the flooding. That's why it's a priority project. This has been over 3 decades in the making, and the poor people have not just been waiting, they've been inconvenienced. They've been frustrated by the fact that they have to pay for a new tire or new rims or an axle, whatever's been broken as a result. Or anyone that was stuck in a flood as a result of the fact that the sewers here were in dire need of repair. And so anywhere I go in this city, and I'm sure that the council people can attest, we can tell them that we have invested or are earmarking over $100 million in improving our parks. And they'll ask, well, what are you doing about River Street? And we can tell them that we've reduced the number of abandoned properties in Paterson from 1,200 to 200, which is an 80% reduction. And they'll ask, what are you doing about River Street? And we can tell them that we've gotten over 400 people who are suffering from opioid use disorder to treatment for drug addiction. And they'll ask, what are you doing about River Street? Today, for all those people that ever asked that question, who were ever at an event and chanted Fix River Street, or in a church or a mosque, any house of worship, today we're telling you, finally, we are going to fix River Street. And in a month, and in a year's time, we're hoping to be back so that we can kick off the first annual River Street has been paved parade. Thank you, Paterson, for your patience. There were bureaucratic and legal challenges that we did not anticipate that delayed this project. But there are no more delays. We've approved the extra hours, and we've approved the fact that we want to accelerate this process so that River Street will no longer flood, and that people can drive on River Street without worrying about any pothole or blowing out a tire. Thanks for joining us, and we are fixing River Street. Finally.